quite an invigorating dog walk with Mr. Chong. It always is. But we're home. And then I figure I'll enjoy my last hour some peace. Where I gotta listen to loud rap music with 100 tons of bass. But at least I'll get to smoke a blunt at some point. Between all this bass and loud rap music, which usually happens every time the husband comes home. He enjoys that kind of stuff. Me, I hear chaos all day at work. I can't. And then I come home and deal with the Chong hurricane, so sometimes I just can't deal with it. So I like peaceful activities. Oh, I'm good. How are you? I'm just relaxing after a horrendous dog walk up the street with Chong seeing two trucks and three small dogs. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, you can ask me a question. I can put this down a second. That's the great thing about knitting. It's not on your hands, so you just keep your needles handy and you can always work on it. Oh, you really like this fella, huh? I always feel that if you're worried about if someone's thinking about you all the time, it kind of makes you crazy because all day long you're thinking at work, oh, what's he doing? What's he doing? And sometimes they're doing the stupidest things. And then if you start doing stuff interesting, then they become more interested. Sometimes the key of making people want to talk to you is act like you don't want to talk to them and start doing something interesting. I mean, if you guys been together a long time and he has any friends that are mutual friends that you know, I would just start doing something interesting and whatever it is you like to do. And oh boy, this message is held for review. These guys are quite on their job. All right, Chong, do you got? Thank you. We were just down in the park and stuff. Seriously, Tara Killer. I don't even know what's that supposed to be. Is this a death threat? This that would be fun if it was a death threat. Because I didn't think I was that popular enough for a death threat. And you have gay. Wow. This is very interesting. And that's all for review. Let's go to see if Salvador's thinking about you. You seem to be the only one that's normal in the stream. But like I said, maybe just start doing something interesting that really people are interested. Maybe like have a nice, interesting garden. What do you call a black man who had a fight with his white girlfriend, homeless? Okay, so you guys got in a fight and oh my goodness. This is getting more exciting at the moment. All right, we're gonna go with the Salvador. Salvador. All right, is this Brandon's wife? Is that Evelyn? Well, I think it's Evelyn. Well, hello, Evelyn. All right, let's just get how Salvador's feeling because I don't know what all this is here. The Terra is closing in. This is very interesting. Pray, pray, pray. This is actually a fun stream. I get a death threat and pray, pray, pray. I probably should be offended, but I'm not. But, anyways, Salvador right now, you got a full moon eclipse for the immediate, like, I want to say alternate paths, but his immediate one path, he got full moon eclipse, and his conclusions are within reach. So he's contemplating and thinking over life pretty much. And then his present and every of the situation, he had a new moon in Capricorn, and he's working, he's thinking of work. In his immediate future, he got a full moon in Cancer with a personal issue. Well, he's thinking about you, yes, but that I feel he's trying to come back in his own way, if that makes any sense. So, Mossy Moses Maisie. Okay, you are not my daughter-in-law. Okay. Oh, you're welcome. I feel he's going to be back, but he just wants to come back in a nice, dignified manner and show you he's not like he was. So I feel it's that. I wouldn't take much. Maybe just give it maybe a couple days or so, maybe a week. Just let him sit on his eggs for a little bit before they hatch, as they used to say. In all the farm days in the old South. So, and I think you'll be fine. So, but enjoy your day. Don't get too stressed out. So, you're gonna give yourself a heart attack or gray hair, one of the two, or both. And I don't want you to have a heart attack or gray hair. So just give it a little time. Because I've been there, and I was actually, when I was my older son Brandon, I'd have all this anxiety going where my head would my head would get a little warm, and then I ended up having a little patch. So don't leave yourself at Burger King because they get cameras everywhere. Okay. What's about this Burger King and cameras? I don't get it. I mean, if this is a troller, this is funny, but you're being taped everywhere. Even when you go outside, the poles for security, you could be taped. Do you have any tip for bees in my head? Oh, that's funny. That's a hilarious one. This is funny. Okay. Thank God. Somebody that's not a troll. But it's interesting. But yeah. I don't know if the first one was a murder attempt. Oh, you're hilarious. There's no bees in your head. This is funny. You guys must be bored or need to do homework or something. Maybe that's what it is. I'm not sure. You guys over here that are got too much going on. At least you're not gang banging out there. I guess that's the main thing. Or doing crazy stuff that people don't need to be doing. I just feel that some people just be doing some stuff that just causes chaos for no dare. Oh my god. I'm just gonna keep this going to see where you go with this. This is funny. It's in your ear. Oh, that's funny. I don't know. Those bees have problems, don't they? Maybe you should, I guess, I don't know, not wear so much perfume or something when you go out. I couldn't tell you. I don't have a problem with bees. They won't leave. I don't know. Maybe go see a doctor. You are funny. Ugh. I'm just gonna sit here. Use some smoke. Yeah, I am. I got some trollers. I'm laughing over these message. And they got some crazy stuff going on in here. It's hilarious. But yeah, leave your question in there and I'll do yours. Yeah, you can get a reading. I just do these things for fun. I am predicting I'm not gonna die today though. Even though I got a death threat. I find this hilarious. If I was afraid to die, maybe this would be a death threat, but no. No, not you. You're not the death threat. Someone's trolling me. Their messages got restricted, and they were calling me a terror killer and stuff. It was funny. Well, yeah, that's what it sounded like over here with all that crazy language, like some kind of death threat. Oh, okay, a general reading. Okay, let me put this down a second. The trollers are funny. I don't get upset about things like this. I find it funny. I find things funny that I shouldn't find funny. This I find hilarious. Alright. What to expect in your near future. Alright. Let's see what they're telling me what's in your near future. You got for what's coming, you're in a circle of energy of a full moon in Scorpio. You have a lot of negative things, and it doesn't have to mean like you hate people or whatever. It's nothing like that. It's just you have a lot of stuff where you were mad about people doing stuff to you, and time has passed, but it's still in the back of your head, and that happens to everybody. I'm just coming out one of these circles, but you got a new moon in Pisces for your immediate future, and you're in a period of just kind of finding peace and just kind of balancing yourself. So I feel in this period you're going to have, I feel there's going to be a job offer of something you like that's going to help you out a little more. And once you kind of just start, finding peace with yourself, you for after when this cycle kind of goes through, you're in the new moon in Libra, which is generally for romantic kind of things. So someone is gonna come along as have your nice newer job or your opportunity. I feel there might be a little bit of traveling, but not a lot. But you'll be happy. And I feel that once you kind of let go of the negativity or of what other people did, I guess it's pretty much they want you to forgive. So, and just because remember, you just because you may have to forgive them doesn't mean you forget. I had to do this recently. So, but it's a really good reading, and you're going to have a nice person that you'd like to be with. So, but that's there. But I mean, that's not a bad reading. I'm in one of these cycles. The thing is, that's why and you always know when you're coming out of the cycle because out of nowhere a new job opportunity will come that you never expected, and you'll be like, wow, how did this happen? And that happens to me in all these little cycles when I go through them. I mean, I just see a long haired lady. I just see shadows of her, but sometimes you're not meant to see the full face because it kind of changes the future. But she's not overweight. She kind of has a curvy figure and she has darker hair. So that's all I really see of it. But I know it'll be somebody that you like that's different and new. And you're going to kind of fall in a similar path because she's going through one of these kind of circles. So when you do that, it's like you're everybody changes, but when you change and you're just accepting life and moving on and stuff, she's just gonna appear because she's doing the same thing. And that happens. You meet someone in similar circles, and generally, when you meet this person, you stay with them for a long time, or they're generally your potential wife. So I feel you're gonna meet your wife or I don't know, partner or whatever you want to say, fiance, soulmate, one of your soulmates you're going to meet. So I do feel that, and I wish you good luck in your life. And it'll be okay. I mean, sometimes these circles take a year, sometimes they take 6 months. But when you're going through them, pieces start coming together in your circle. So you got to remember that your circle keeps going round and round, and then it's like it does connect the dots, and then before you know it, things are just falling in place. And it looks really hopeless, and then all of a sudden things work out a little more for you. So, okay, I'll wait. And then soulmate, if they would be advising for me to focus on myself. Why can't we be together if we like each other? Well, I guess anonymous, if there's a thing called free will, and free will is people have things they do, and a lot of times, they're in their own lifetime, so you can't predict how a person's going to act or not act, because that's how you shape your whole life. So I don't know. It is what it is at this point. You just got to accept things for what they are. I learned that a long time ago in Catholic school. You can't question life, death, or love. Those are three things you just can't question. And you got to be able to have full acceptance of all three to actually be happy. That I do agree with the Catholic faith. And a priest told me that once. And I don't think he was wrong. He was actually a good priest, so I would give that advice because I think it's very sound advice. I mean, all we could do is just move on with our life and just see what we're supposed to do and try to make a difference, and just know that most people generally die between 50 and 60. So that's generally when people die. So you just gotta live your life and don't worry about it. Because my husband loves me or not. Well, I could tell you his intentions, but you would have to really be kind of connected to him in a friend way or anything to be able to pick up on emotions, because a lot of times even the best people in the world cannot pick up people's emotions. They could pick up intentions because it's more personal to your person. So I could tell you, I could do reading of your husband's intentions, but that's it. But it could be he's doing something bad for a good reason. I don't know. Because nobody really knows that answer if somebody truly loves someone or not. They could see the circumstances around it and try to contemplate if they're lying or not, but you can never really truly tell if somebody loves you or not. I mean, it's a sucky thing, but it's a mystery, and I can't lie to you guys, say I know something, and then nobody would know that question. Because there's no, I mean, if I'm feeling a certain way, there's nobody that could pick up what I'm doing, because my emotions are my emotions. That's why at the end of the day, you gotta live with your decisions. But if you want me to do a reading on his intentions towards you, I could do that. But like I said, intentions in certain circumstances, bad intentions could be good intentions could be bad. So you're kind of, I guess, I don't know, you're just going around in a circle. but I would be glad to do it by circumstance. So if you wanted me to do that, I could do reading with that. And I guess my trollers are. I guess that maybe they went and ate dinner or something. I don't know where they went. It's very exciting. At least they're not scammers. That's the main thing. I don't think anybody likes a scammer. I just don't like the idea of personal people having my personal information. I just hate it. It bothers me the bank has my personal information. At least I know it's a federal bank with the military, but even then, you just never know. But they are very good of tracking things. That's the military banks are very good with that. I don't. I heard a ding ding, but I don't know what kind of message I have up in my phone. But I'm probably gonna stay on for like maybe 15 or 20 more minutes to see if there's a actually legit tarot card question here where I could answer a question. And if not, we could just talk because I'm just not over here to do that because it's not my career and I don't just go around talking to people saying I want to do your card reading. I don't be doing stuff like that and any kind of any day. But I guess today I just was doing what I usually do: smoked a bowl and jammed out to a bunch of YouTube videos. I like Marilyn Manson. Marilyn Manson's pretty. He's pretty dope. I like him. I like. I don't know. I like them all. And then he got a little religious, but it's okay. I can listen to religious like rock too, like Avantasia. I like them. I like Ed Guy Mandrake. I think he's good. I think my favorite artist over here is like Black Veil Brides. I really like them a lot. I paid out a lot of money to go to during COVID time to go into incarceration and to see him, and he is just he's awesome. I really like him a lot, and he did so good. And Jelly Roll, oh my god, Jelly Roll was amazing. And it was crazy because everybody was like, because he's like a cross country at a metal festival, but he was, I don't know, I think Jelly Roll was just as good as Black Veil Brides. He was really, he had one of his country songs, which I like Jelly Roll country songs. Now my son, he was at Florida and seen Florida Georgia Line in person and said they were amazing. And then he's seen in California, he was over there and seen somebody too, and he got like super lucky to see all these artists playing. I don't have that much of a carefree life like I would like to have to be able to do this stuff. I have enough of a carefree life to where all my bills are paid, but I would like to work, I guess, maybe one day doing something that was fun instead of boring. I just like to do interesting things. That's why I need to get this book published. I need to stop being lazy and My son needs to come here and give me this MacBook that he got me so I can get this thing on Amazon and see how I do over there. Because honestly that I keep my personal goals no matter what's going on in my life that's bad. I keep my ultimate personal goal that I something that I wanted to do before I died. I wanted one book out there that and I want Lily in the Darkness out there because when I die, I want people to read that book. And that's my life's goal. And then I'll be happy to die. I'm hoping to die. I'm hoping to die in my sleep, but if I do, I'm hoping it's quick. Bullet to the head is always okay. But I mean, I have a feeling I'm dying old, so probably dying in my sleep. But that's okay. But before I die in my sleep, I want this book to be out. And I'm going to work on it. They have this thing. My friend gave me all the paperwork for it. There's a little procedure and all this, and Amazon does take a certain amount. But it's just getting to the point where I have got to get this book out. So I'm gonna start like with Amazon just publishing all these like short stories and stuff. And I'm gonna try to I'm gonna find a self publisher where you pay for everything, and then when your hits come in where people like or want to buy your story. Hi, I'm bad. Oh, okay. Well, hello. Back, I bet. I don't know. I thought you were crazy like the trollers earlier. That was really funny. You know you made it when you got a bunch of people talking crazy. That's really knowing you got it big. That's when Howard Stern knew he got it big. They said the people that hated him, yeah. If you want reading, I mean, I can't do it outside, but because I got to control Chong. But yeah, if you want a reading, I'm just not one of these readers that my whole entire stream is just about it and they're sitting there with their headdresses and fancy stuff. I'm not all about that. I can't. I can't do that. I don't know why they do what they do. But I got my cards here. Just put in a question and we'll see what comes up. Alright. Alright. How does my crush see me as a person and what does he like about me? You must really like this guy a lot. How long you been friends for? If you don't mind me asking. I'm picking up a lot of affection. I'm picking up like maybe 5 or 6 years or more. I don't know. Is that about right? More than that. Childhood? Like a childhood like crush? Oh, okay. See, these can be tricky. I'm actually going through one of these. My friend from my childhood that's not quite married kind of wants to get with me, and I'm with I'm married with somebody, and it's weird, but we'll see. Is this guy married or anything, or is Is there any drama, like, or anything in his closet, like skeletons? Does he have like kids, or what do you think? Does he have any children? Okay. Oh, okay. Hello. Oh, Aries Diva. Oh my god. Well, that's good. He does. Well, at least you don't have to deal with. I'm not saying it's horrible to go out with somebody that has kids because it's inevitable at this day and age because everybody's with everybody and it's just the way of life. So I don't know. I don't get it, but it is what it is. But I'll see. I'll show you two paths of what could happen, but it always could be subject to change. You never know. I mean, this could be good or bad for you. Generally, if it's somebody from your past you've known that long, it's like if something happens. I guess the main thing is when things happen like that, you've known each other for so long. It's almost like a marriage when you have a lifelong friend like that, and then you add the sex into it, and sometimes it gets real complicated and messy, and then you get the drama llama. Oh yeah, let me get hers done first. Alright, and then I'll get to yours. I'm not the most motivated person in the world. I go little by little and take my time. So, alright. You he's for his past, he got a new moon in Cancer. And these are where he's more focused on his family, which is good. He's a family man, so you kind of want someone that's nice to their family because then they'll be nice to you, and then if you get knocked out, they'll be nice to your kids. That's what the old saying is. So for your present, you got new moon eclipse. He is going through a very powerful change because he's getting to the part of his life where I like to call it where men like to couple. It's usually like in their 20s, all of a sudden they say, "Oh my god, I don't have a kid," or "I'm thinking about a kid," or whatever, and they can't do it themselves because they need a female, and then they look more deeper into women, I guess, at this point in their life. I would like to call it that. So he's right in the middle of that cycle where he has to switch off gears. And he got a full moon in Cancer. There's a personal. This deals with personal issues, but I don't feel it's about love. I believe it's about somebody that he's trying to cut ties with, and they just can't go away immediately. So I guess wait till he cuts ties with this person. I feel that they had like an off again, on again thing of some intimacy, but he's just kind of over it. And he's trying to break away. So maybe I feel that I see two paths. One path where he's going to want to just stay friends, or the other half that he wants to just start over with a completely new person. But either way, he's going to stay in touch with you and things. So, I mean, it's up to him. And either way, it really is his own choice. And then I guess don't worry about it too much, but it sounds like he's not taking advantage of you, which is a good thing. So I guess that's the answer to that, and I wish I had something better to tell you, but I can't tell you or predict what somebody's going to actually choose because I'm not God. But you could go ahead and I'm done with that one now. Oh, he likes you. He really likes you, and he thinks you're a good person and stuff. It's just sometimes before you decide you're going to marry somebody, you either want to start out new or you want to deal with something familiar. It's what we all deal with in life. It's just whatever preference he wants at that time. So I wouldn't just push the issue. Just let him come to you and just, maybe paint or try to write a poem or just chill out to Netflix or whatever and just live your life. That's what I would do. But go ahead, put your question out. Well, he might choose you. I mean, he just has two paths that he's allowed to take in the universe. The universe does not tell you who you have to have kids with, and these is your free actions before you die. You're born, and most people live usually at least to 50. If you're lucky, you die around 100, and in that time, that you live and you write your own story. Everybody has their own stories they write without knowing about it. So maybe you guys will be together. I don't know. It depends on what he wants to do at that time. Life's a crazy thing sometimes. I mean, 1 minute it's just one way, and then 1 minute it's another way. But I wouldn't worry about it. I have a feeling he's gonna pick you, though. I don't know. I just have a hunch that for some reason he's more clingy to his past, and he associates things better with the familiarity. So, since you guys are familiar, I believe he's going to pick you, but I can't for sure say it. So, but I believe he will. So, I'm 80% sure he will, but there's always a 20% he won't. Okay. Would I like working at a sporting goods store? Uh, I don't know. I mean, do you like sporting goods? Do you like to be around sports? Do you know about sports? I mean, a sporting goods store could be fun to work at. Would love to work at a store, but I've done medical for so long, they won't hire me nowhere else. And my job told me that I'm not allowed to leave unless I become a good live streamer. So I don't know. I may be dying at my work. Who knows? I'm just joking. But you put I find it interesting. I do know some sports. I find it well, if you like sports and you're in a store with all those balls and golf clubs and stuff, you would get a discount. I mean, golfing can be fun. I mean, my ex-husband, he was a football player, and when he hurt his knee and stuff and got older, he started playing golfing, and he really liked it. I mean, guys that like sports, all through their life they're doing something. You always can hit a golfing range even at 50 and 60. I mean, you see a lot of old men on the golf course. You see, and it could be fun. And like I said, you get these discounts, and they won't be bothering you as much. And you could become store manager. You really can. In these stores, if sporting goods stores, people still have to go there, and they're still actually making money. Because where are you supposed? If your kids are, if you're going into football or something, where you're supposed to get your stuff, you can't go to Walmart for certain things. So I think you might like it. I mean, when you look at jobs, I feel you should look at how you're gonna, if it's gonna kill you or kill your soul every day. Just because it pays a ton of money doesn't mean it's gonna be good for you. And even that situation, if you're making a ton of money doing something, you can save it up and then just move on to something else that you can do. But it would depend on the dollar amount if you didn't like the job. I mean, I don't hate my job, but I'm getting burned out from it, personally. I mean, you could only do something for so long before you just want to just go jump out a window. And you can't be in an atmosphere working that people are just constantly yelling and you're constantly that customer service, and then you're dealing with irate families and stuff. That's the worst part about that kind of customer service. But at least everyone's happy going in a store. And even if you miss the aisle or you got to bring something up in your phone, everybody's happy. They went out to eat. The kids are happy because they wanted their stuff for football or whatever they're doing. And it just seems like a good, happy time for families, which means you get yelled at less. Now, me, I just get yelled at because that's the nature of my job. Families all the time get over emotional, and it seems the brunt of the person that gets everything is always the nurse's aide. Always. You gotta hear about how you stole this or you stole that or they in this, and you didn't steal anything. You could keep replacing the same thing. They forget. And then families get over emotional, and then it can be very aggravating. This is why I don't want to be a nurse. I I have been told I would make more money. I make a decent amount of money, but I don't know if I had the mental health if somebody literally stopped breathing. It is the most thing that you can. It's like literally when this happens, you're looking at him. I run down the hallway screaming. I think he's dead. A country club. Oh wow, those are always fun. I'm in a couple country clubs. They are fun. Okay. Did you have actual job offer at this country club? All right, Chong. We only went up the street. Seriously. All right. The country club job. I got. You got for a full moon in Virgo. You have the qualifications, obviously, and stuff for that. What, Chong? We'll go out in a little bit, okay? And anyways, the present of that is you just got to consider, I guess, if you want to go. It's always good to be in that kind of job bracket where you're actually have these kind of decisions. Some people don't, but I don't know. I see you happy at a country club. It's just you're gonna have to move your schedule around and stuff. But yeah, a country club. I mean, I think you would like that. But who wouldn't like working in a country club? Oh no, not yet. You're gonna apply. Well, yeah, go ahead and apply. I mean, my God, country clubs are fun as hell. And everybody's happy going in a country club. They're not gonna bitch that much unless you're the someone that cooked the food. I guess if you were the cook, but cooks always get yelled at because everybody gets overprotective about their food because of the poor dead animal that died. And they get angry that's overcooked, undercooked. I can't work in a kitchen. I literally, when I was younger, I did not. I was at a fast food restaurant working for like 2 days, and they said that I did not do the burgers fast enough. I have issues with the burgers and all the sandwiches. They want. I don't know. You're not good at a restaurant. Yeah, the restaurant life is just not for me. I can't do it. And the restaurant people would really, really hate me. They would because I would sit there and I would bitch everybody out and it wouldn't be a good day. But for some reason when I'm with patients and taking care of them, it's all good. They generally your patients like you. You have the same route every day. They generally pick who they want anyways because if for some reason someone doesn't like you, you're going to get moved. And it's okay because that's the way it should be. But like I said, I think if you'd like to apply and you might like someone else too. Maybe work two part times. That's what I'm thinking about doing. I'm thinking about cutting me down to 3 days and then going get another job for 3 days. And I might just keep them both. You get enough money together, you could put stuff together. They have apps where you could start investing money. And if you just put like $100 a paycheck away, you can have a lot of money invested. And they have these stocks you can buy. I was lurking and looking at stuff there too. I wonder about things and I lurk. But there's a lot of people getting money off the like, little stocks. I mean, if you got time where you could balance too, and I've learned that unless if you buy stuff that's useful, you'll spend less money. During COVID, I spent $400. God, it was over $400 a month on just Amazon stuff. We had Amazon packages coming like crazy. Everybody would look at me, and it just got to the point where I was ordering so much, and then I just like I'm going to use everything because it was $400 to $500 a month I was averaging on Amazon. Then it took me about 6 or 7 months, maybe close to a year, to use up all the stuff I bought from Amazon. They would have a toothpaste deal. And I spent so much money on tooth. I got a real good deal and I think I had 50 things of toothpaste. And then I was like, it was getting to the point where I was feeling like I was becoming an organized hoarder. So I had to stop it. I just started using everything and I stopped buying stuff. So I know it's possible to save that way. And I just washed all the clothes I have and putting them in bins. And honestly, if you go and just find all the clothes in your closet that are actually nice clothes that you forgot about, you won't even need to go clothes shopping that often. You got to save a funeral outfit though in your closet. My mom used to always tell me to make sure you got a dress or a suit for someone's funeral. So I saved my funeral dress. It's nice. It's golden. It's black and has a little gold in it. So I don't know if I get any loses any more weight. I'll probably have to get a new funeral dress. But other than that, I'm just putting everything back. And sometimes it looks like you have a whole new wardrobe when you move around your wardrobe, and that'll save you money, and you can invest more money. And I have found this, and it's actually working because this year I've saved a lot of money. I saved so much money that I was able to make Chong, my service dog, when I rescued him. I had to give up some of my money, but $1,000 was worth Chong, so I'm recouping money again, and I will. But it's all about how where you put your money and what you spend it on and stuff. And a lot of times, like I'll go to stores and in different the clearance sections and stuff, and I only buy useful things. And if I see some that's really useful that generally is like $20 off, that's when I buy it. I don't buy anything any other time. I don't really care. I mean, I just go to work and I come home. And I'm spending time with my dog. This is what I do. Or I'm going to a store and I'm done with my week, my day, and it's done with. Or I'll go on vacation with my brother or something. We usually plan that once a year because you gotta have vacation. Vacation is when you get to have fun and stuff. And especially he works in the kitchen where we work at it. I work on the nursing end. And it seems like when I ask him how his day is, he's always good. I mean, he's on the Good Morning Chong ones on Facebook. Because Facebook loves my brother, loves him. Oh my God. My group, I can't even get rid of my group because a lot of like my people and his people are in the group and they like the group, and I they never actually put post in the group, but they like the fact they're in the group, so I can't shut it down. So it's a conflicted thing, but it's there when it just sits there and my friends are happy it's there and everyone's happy. And I get to see these guys almost. I was 5 days a week, and I would pick up a day, but I can only be there 4 days a week. I was glad for my little raise through COVID, our permanent raises, and I just was like, good, I can work one less day. Because sometimes the world is just not what you would expect. And you really see things, like, especially when these families are. I mean, you got to have a certain, I guess, presence. I would rather honestly just do the dis. I'd go rather go to my other job, either work at a psych ward, which I liked. I like psych work, or work with the disabled children, which I liked a lot. But I don't have any of those places near me anymore, so I guess I'm just stuck with hospital or where I'm at. So I don't know. Okay, I think I got his paws clean. He a tired pup. He really loves his baseball. He always watches baseball games. When he was a pup, we always went there and they used to give him his baseballs. Now, when he chews the baseball, I gotta watch because he'll actually chew the whole top off and then I'll have the baseballs in the middle and stuff. He chews right through baseballs. And I don't want him eating all that stuff because it can't be good for him. Everybody tells me he's my son, and I guess I got him so young. Oh my god. Okay, that's not a bug. I get these little tiny bugs that drop. I don't know if you guys seen them. They look like little tiny spiders and they come off these trees. They're called tree spiders. And they're real tiny, tiny. They almost and they but they you can't even really tell they're a spider and they'll crawl or they'll go in your purse or something. I had like a couple, and I get real careful through the trees not to go near them. They won't bite you, the tree spiders, but they're annoying sometimes. I don't know, but the one spider I brought home was awful. Awful. It was so big it could wrap itself around my leg. It kept biting me and I put special cream on and finally I wasn't trying to go out like a coward. I got so much air freshener. So much. I was killing just that spider. It went on my leg and if I had shoes I would have killed him. But I didn't and I felt that I would have been on one of those TV shows about a venomous bite. So I chased him with the air freshener, and I got this. And I at the one store I call it the street, the Chong store. They have real strong air freshener. For 5 minutes straight, I chased him and I sprayed him. I never seen him again, and he never bit. And he's never been around anyone under there. I think he died under my refrigerator. And I feel I did not win the battle because I wanted to kill him myself. I pretty much just poisoned him until he died, so I don't know if that counts as a kill. I would have rather been an honorable kill, but he kind of changed the whole game field. But I won this. I guess if I was scared of spiders, it would have bothered me. I'm not scared of them, but I don't like them biting me, so I will try to find the culprit and go after them because I am not going to let something be I'm not going to be something's dinner every day. I'm not. And generally when I have a spider in the house, they won't bite me. I just let them chill out in a corner or whatever. I used to have one in my front porch. We called it Fred. And Zach used to feed him when he was with me, my younger one, my younger son. But he's older now, but we would feed Fred. Oh, hello. But Fred never tried to bite me. He never tried to go in the house. Me and this spider had an agreement. And he was a really nice spider and they fed him moths and stuff. But one day the husband was on the porch and Fred wasn't there. He did. He had a lot of manners. Never bit no one nothing. I actually like spiders. I like them because most of the time they just chill out in your house and they eat the flies and this and that and they don't bother nobody. But this spider that I dealt with, I'd never seen a vicious thing like this in my life. I don't know what was wrong with this thing. It only bit me. It did not bite no one else, just me. And I was going to be its meal every single day. I already knew. So I literally, I had to sleep in the house when no one was alive another day, but I went and got all that air freshener and it's very high potent. And in the end, that thing had to die, but Fred was wonderful. Fred died of old age on her porch. He used to eat moths and a bunch of stuff that came on the front porch. Nobody bothered him. I mean, he usually would stay up. Every once in a while, I mess with my husband because he smoked cigarettes then, and he'd go out and sometimes he'd come down in his web, and he was about, I don't know, about the size of my hand. Sometimes he'd come down the web, and then everybody would start screaming and go in the house. But when I would be out there, because I smoked cigarettes then too, Fred would just stay and just be chilling, and he would never come down. He just sometimes just wanted to mess with people. Yeah, it was a big spider, but he had manners, and as long as he doesn't crawl on me or have his children crawl on me, I'm okay. I'm honestly okay with it. So he never had any kids, and he stayed there, and we fed him, and he was our pet spider. I think eventually he either died of old age or just found a new home eventually, or maybe he got married. I don't know. But he was on the front porch for about a year or so. Because I don't really believe in having animals in cages, and if I want a pet spider, it's okay. I just share the front porch or whatever. I mean, I'm not gonna personally. I mean, Fred went and if my son didn't feed him and his friends, he just went in. He had got his own meal, and there's nothing wrong with that. Fred had to live until he died, so yeah, I do. I'm doing readings too. If you want a reading, I don't force it down people's throats because technically the Catholics say it's a form of Satanism. So I would never do that for if a Catholic person came in my stream because it is offensive to a Roman Catholic. So just whatever shows up in the cards for me, please. Do you want to know like? Oh, but did you want like? I guess when they're everybody's calling it a general reading. Do you want that? General advice. What success is coming next? All right, success. All right, so you want to overall of your success pattern. I could do that. I don't know. I think that's better to have where you're not focusing on one thing because then it just comes out weird. That's why I'd rather you could have one thing or the other. It's just I like to do this for fun. My friend Taylor wants me to do her readings when she comes over, and I told her, well, she gonna have to get her ass over here. But I just find these it's fun, like a little like you would do at a party for me. All right, all right, success. You for the past you got excuse me. You got a blue moon, and a blue moon means that you you felt like you have limitations and you don't think you could do what you want to do type of card. And for your present, you got a wanting moon. So I guess it's getting a plan together and figuring out what direction of what kind of career you want to go towards. Maybe fine tune things or get your foot in one place to see if you like it and want to go further with it. And in your circle of financial and success, once you like get your foot in somewhere, once you kind of figure out what you want in life and all that, because we all do it with our jobs. You got a full moon in Aries, which means you're going to do very well and make decent money. But I feel it's going to be something that you're not expecting. Like it's some kind of job that you didn't think you would like, and you're starting to actually like it to where you want to go in every day and actually do it and you care about it. I don't feel it's medical. I really am not feeling medical. I'm feeling something. Maybe like, I don't know, maybe like a phone type like place somewhere where they're selling like expensive things. Like computers and phones and different things. That's what I'm picking up. Which are very good jobs because if you get in a place like that, if you like computers and all that, and you're selling them and different things and you're working around them, you'd be useful to give people information towards the right one. So I guess in that context it would be good. But that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like not technically a tech job, but something where people go to buy expensive things. And there's phones also with like these different like computers and stuff. I do public health coordination and counseling, but Chong, what is that word? Renemy? Renemy? Oh, remotely. Okay. I don't know, maybe it's not selling. I'm just seeing you around a lot of stuff and around computers and things. So that's what I'm seeing. I just assumed in my mind it looks like you're selling them. Maybe the phones are people, but I do see a lot of computers. I see more computers than, and I do see a lot of phones, but I see a lot of computers. Maybe the computers is like a different part of the building or something, or maybe it's a different kind of job. I don't know. I don't know about all the. I mean, I've been in medical forever, so I don't know sometimes what these other jobs look like. So, whatever job where there's a lot of computers around, which could be that. I mean, there's a lot of jobs, a lot of computers. It looks like it'd be a good paying job to be have a lot of expensive computers around. And they're not cheap like my work computers. They're actually good computers what I'm looking at, what I seen. So it looks probably a good company. Well, that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, that's a good opportunity. Somebody, if you're working around all those expensive computers, you have to have good insurance, I would think. Probably way better insurance than I have. You probably can get a third deep cleaning now with no problem. Me, I gotta save up all this money just to get my third deep clean just to finish out all my dental. A job like that, you would have probably almost 100% everything paid off. Yeah, I've been thinking about this with jobs. This my chip on my front tooth is I go to one dentist and then they sit there and tell me you need deep cleanings. I say okay, insurance don't pay for three, so I'm gonna be paying $500 for that. Then they want to remove one tooth in the back, and I'm like, what happened to the chip in the front of my teeth, a tooth? And then they tell me all these oral surgeons and stuff that the chip isn't that important. I've been told by 5 doctors that chips on your tooth are not that important. But all I know is I'm like was been back and forth for the last 6 months with these doctors. I think they're just finding, just like the mechanic does when you bring your car in. I think they just go look at your x-ray and say, oh, you know what? We can charge for this. We could charge for that. And before you know it, you're on all this crazy stuff. I take vacation to Cancun and put and get my dental done. Yeah, I believe it. I'm in the middle of a damn war with my dentistry, and then my company, my dental insurance is actually still good, just the other insurance. So thank God I'm healthy. But they have been doing a lot, but it's ridiculous. They want all this money, and it's. I'm so really glad I'm not. I'm somewhat healthy because I would be screwed. They do, and then my God, if you got to get a heart pacer or something, that's even worse. They sit there and they don't sometimes cover all the money for heart pacers and some of these because my neighbor got it. My heart's actually okay for some damn reason. All the monster drinks I used to drink, oh my God, I just hear my husband complain all the damn time. I stopped drinking all those energy drinks. Now I just drink a little tea. I actually stopped drinking coffee not too long ago, which was something I needed to do. And I really miss it, but I don't know. How many kids will I have? Oh, I can't. No one can see that far in the future. No one. And if they. Oh, you love tea too? Yeah, you can't see that. I mean, if he chooses you, I mean, that's up to him how many kids he wants. We choose our own destiny here. So, you love sweet tea? I like Dairyman's tea. Dairyman's is only native to Ohio and it's so good. Dairyman's tea is awesome. That's the one good thing about Ohio. They got good milk and good tea. Oh, well, you can always order that too. Oh, Dairyman's. I don't know. The milk might go bad by the time it came. They only have a shelf life. But Dairyman's iced tea is good. I think the company's still in Ohio. So, but you're in Miami currently. Oh, you're in the party town. I'm in the country town that really pretty much. I like to think Ohio kind of shaped the history of the United States, period. Because they were always fighting in Ohio in the Revolutionary War, with when we were with fighting with Britain for our independence, and Ohio really played up a big part because that last battle was there, and it has a lot of history to our country as much as Washington D.C., I believe. Oh, you don't have to be doing all that. There must be a documentary. For what? Are you going to document all your travels? Like the rich people? I've never looked into Ohio. Oh. I mean, it's in the history books. Ohio is. Oh, actually, well, I guess Ohio and Pennsylvania border, but Pennsylvania was where the most history was. But Ohio had a lot of history with the Revolutionary, and it was Britain was always wanting this territory. They didn't want where Miami is, or they wanted Ohio. They was literally fighting over the. They knew they just believed they were going to win, and we were not going to win. So they already. If you watch Gettysburg, the movie, oh yeah, I like to go traveling too. I've been to California when I was younger with my parents. My son's been there. He was stationed over there by the Navy thing. So, and he's been all through Florida. So, I've been through Florida. I don't think I've been through Miami. I went to Disney World. I went to Universal. We went on the helicopter rides. I've been a lot through Florida, but a lot of them was kid spots. And then when the kids got older, it was like Universal and different things. Oh, the Gettysburg. Well, it has for. Oh wow, yeah, California is really pretty, but I don't know. It's gonna eventually fall in the ocean. That's just the true facts of it. It's by all those where all the volcanoes start with the earthquakes and all that going on. You didn't enjoy LA. I don't know. I think I might, but what was I right about? Sometimes I'm not right. Sometimes I want to be wrong. Sometimes, but meeting. Meeting. I don't. I think yeah, that's spelled wrong or something, or that thing in the phone. Oh, yeah. I'm just talking about all the earthquakes and all that, because they keep talking through geology and everything that California is eventually going to go in the ocean. Well, they have like they say that the volcanoes are connected to all these little different chambers, and when they move around, the lava. I've heard and like seen all these different videos and stuff. When the lava's moving around, it just creates like all these different things and disrupts things. And some scientists, I mean, I don't know, every scientist has a different thing, but they say that all these lava things are like in the earth coming out and all that because they're everywhere under where we can't even see them, these chambers. It's just, it is what it is. That's what the earth is. But some experts are saying it's because of some volcanoes going off that set off like the fault lines and stuff. I mean, where we live, Yellowstone, when that goes off, that's set to go off. They say it's going to take off most of North America out. So we might not go in the ocean, but a lot of people are going to die. A lot of animals and forest and trees and everything else. That's what they say. And there's that huge volcano there. Oh yeah, that's the big thing where we live. That's they're always looking at Yellowstone, always because there's springs next to it and it's warm water because the lava is closest by there. So they're constantly testing the temperature of the water all the time. So, but those fault lines, I mean, now they're saying there's volcanoes in the ocean too because they've been doing a lot of research, the scientists and stuff, and they're finding existence of underwater volcanoes, and they think that they disrupt these fault lines. No one could really be certain because all the numbers aren't there, but they're finding a shit ton of underwater volcanoes, and they usually don't do a lot. They just, when they go off, obviously it's colder water, so they're just, the lava's going away right away usually, but depending, honestly, when these volcanoes are going off, they're still causing disruptions, and if they're going off enough, they don't know what's making them go off. It could be just us messing with the ocean, it could be submarines, it could be anything. And they say it just sends off vibrations, all these little underwater volcanoes, and that's where these fault lines are coming. And when things like, many cities have fallen, the lost city of Atlantis fell in the ocean, but they say it's because of these underwater volcanoes. And it's close to the shoreline. So if you live close to the shoreline, eventually, depending on what underwater volcanoes making your fault lines go crazy, you could be in the ocean too, but not for long. I mean, you'll be dead. I climbed one of those active ones while there. All the volcanoes. I was interesting to hear that they're finding more. Yeah, they're finding a lot of stuff, and then this James Webb's telescope is out there just zooming around the universe, making all kinds of stuff too, and they're under the water finding out stuff. Scientists, I really like them because you never know what they're going to do next. They're nosy. And they're smart and nosy. I like to call them smart, nosy people. They find ways to get numbers and coordinates to find out exactly what's in the surrounding areas of our existence. And they're smart. And being smart and nosy, they're making these telescopes, sending them up and just probing. And they probe. And they find coordinates. And that's how they found this huge, gigantic black hole that sits in the middle of the damn Milky Way. I don't know how it stands up straight, but it has a lot of little black holes around it. And Stephen Hawking is even saying, yeah, I mean, he said there was rumors before he died. I don't know for sure, but people were saying that there was an existence, that he said there was a God because he was an atheist for a while. And being scientific, you're looking at energy all day, and it's kind of hard to have a religion when you're that far deep into science. So I get it, and I do. But he said that. Oh yes. But he did say there was an existence of God, and he said that, because you find out all these things in space, and you wonder how they actually exist. It's, I mean, knowing that we're surrounded by 50 black holes, but not one of them has sucked us in. And there's a gigantic one in the Milky Way that's not that far away from us, and I think that's where God is. It is the most energy, and it's the biggest black hole we got. And how do you know that all those little black holes aren't going into the one in the Milky Way? We don't. And you can't disclaim it, and people can't say you're crazy because nobody knows for sure. It's one of those things that you really don't know for sure. Anybody could be right, anybody could be wrong, because you can't even prove it with numbers. Because with space, there's 1,000 numbers to one coordinate, and the minute it moves a little bit, all those numbers change. So it's constant change and fluctuations in the entire universe. So you got constant fluctuations of time in this and that. So they say there's a lot of wormholes up in the Milky Way, and wormholes appear next to black holes. And does God do? He brings you back to a natural state, takes away your negativity and all that, and you're recycled. And we do come back. They say there's a grain of, I guess there's like, they were even saying, I mean, I don't know if I believe this theory, but one of those smart, nosy people was saying there's a piece or grain of the universe inside every human being. And that's why when you're born, you see the how the universe was made, but you forget, and then you see it again when you die. And that was said by those smart nosy people. That's what I like to call them. They are very, very intelligent but very nosy at the same time. Recycled. They probably do. They probably that I'm thinking, I mean, in my mind's eye, I mean, they have a lot of coordinates, and they have this gigantic black hole that is huge, and sometimes it spits out these little black holes, and most of the time those black holes come right back to it. And then I'm not sure if there's a universe that can live in those kind of hostile conditions, but maybe it does. A lot of Stephen Hawking and all that people with the quantum theory are believing in wormholes, and they say that you could get sucked in, a universe can get sucked into a wormhole. So I don't know. The Africans believe that this is why babies and old people connect. so deeply. I believe that, yeah, because they shared the same wisdom that the rest has forgotten. I believe that. Well, some tribes believe this. I don't know if all of Africa does. Well, I know that it's been scientists are saying that we see the universe when we're born and we see it we die and they're putting it to dopamines in our brain. And they're finding different chemicals and stuff and they're saying that there's a piece of the universe that created us. That's why we are as smart as we are. And there's a piece of literally space that comes in and yeah, baby sees that. They say baby sees they can see spirits very clearly. Every when you're younger, a young child, usually if they're looking away and pointing, they say that they can see beyond too until you hit a certain age and then sometimes you lose it. That's what some people are saying. And some people are saying that most some of the spirits people see, which I do believe, and I have come across this, is when you believe them. Yeah, I believe it too. Yeah, they're kind of residual hauntings, where it's not an actual spirit; it's just an event that it was so dramatic it keeps replaying in one ley line, and those ley lines are energy sources. So I believe that most of the ghosts people see aren't actually real ghosts. They're just apparitions that just appear because of an energy that kind of filled, but the people aren't there no more. The soul isn't there. I don't believe a lot of the hauntings people see are. I do believe they're seeing some, but I believe that they're dealing with the energy of that time. And the land wasn't cleansed properly. I do believe that. So the tribes in Africa are right. I do believe this. I believe the same as that. That's why I say I'm not one religion. I like to know the truth. And I do, and when people tell me something's haunted, I go, "Are you sure you're not on a ley line?" And they tell me, "What are these damn ley lines?" I said, "They're like little magnet. They're parts where energy just kind of gathers naturally. And then if some traumatic event happens, then it kind of could put it like a movie picture, like if somebody was murdered tragically, and then it just keeps going over and over in a loop. I believe they create time loops. I don't believe they're ghosts. I believe it's two different things. That's why ghost hunters, sometimes they get nothing, but sometimes they get something. And I believe they get involved into time loops because they're going into places that have known high ley line activity. They are getting something, but it's only the images that were left and a high electroactive. I believe there's a lot of electromagnetic or a lot of electromagnetic activity in one area. And that's why when they get those little things and they're picking up things, it's because it's a natural ley line. And they say in these natural ley lines, I've heard some spiritualists say, and I actually heard a couple scientists say this, the ones that are atheist, that in these natural ley lines, if you go on there, you can magnitude a lot of things. So it could go both ways. It really can. And you could project through like these certain areas. I've heard that. I don't know how true it is. I'm not sure. I think I can sense. I can sense ley lines. Probably. Usually it's hot or cold areas, and ley lines are they're supposed to go with the core of the earth. And when it comes up, because if you know, like I guess pretty much what the scientists are saying that it create like I guess moving back and forth with the lava chambers like right under at the core, which is obviously the hottest part of the earth. Everybody knows this. It shoots up and it creates almost like a magnet type thing and makes things and gives things more energy. And it's just a part of the what the earth's doing. So, and I've heard this from scientists, a couple of them, and they're probably right. I believe that. And you would feel that in a ley line. You would feel extra good or extra bad or neutral, but you would feel a little different by a ley line because they're supposed to be like give you more energy and be more magnetic at the same time. From it could be, it really could be, because I believe that I'm not facetious enough to believe that there's not wormholes or stuff, and I believe they say deja vu is some people that see deja vu and stuff that they're seeing wormholes, people traveling through these portholes. These are all through. They're saying time travel does appear through wormholes, so and scientists are calling for that now. They didn't before, but now with all these new findings, they're saying it's possible. Not in the immediate future, but it's possible, and from our future, somebody from the past could be visiting us through these. Well, who doesn't feel good in New Orleans? You don't have deja vu. Yeah, I have deja vu sometimes. Sometimes the one time I was walking Chong and it was weird. I I didn't smoke any weed or anything, and I wasn't even thinking about it. And Chong was sniffing, and I thought I seen somebody, but I like to do a sanity check every once in a while, make sure that I'm not crazy, or if I'm just seeing a flash or something, and I seen somebody with a brown coat, and it was really weird. And I go, okay, I live in an apartment building, whatever, and I'm looking around, and there's no evidence anybody was around like that. It was there one split second and not another. I think I ran into, because I think where I live, there's a ley line, and sometimes I see little flashes of stuff. Seemed just somebody had like with a brown work jacket, and I looked and I investigated. I thought maybe they hurried up, but it was so fast. And Chong even seen it, and we looked and it was gone. Me and him both seen it. It was weird. I don't think I had deja vu. I think I just seen an actual time traveler. But they say that. I mean, just here on YouTube, there's like a ton of videos about time travel and seeing somebody traveling through time and accounts. And then I was on YouTube listening to this thing where this guy was where the police and everything was holding him in this hotel room because he had money from the future and this and that, and they didn't know what to make about it. And then when they had all the police by his door so he couldn't leave, and he disappeared in the morning. So I don't know. But it's more than just deja vu. I think I actually just seen somebody, but it was there, and then a flash, it wasn't. But sometimes I think if you go by, oh yeah, I was not trying to stick around. Not. I'm good. I've heard of reports. I've seen YouTube videos, so you can't believe everything in YouTube videos they say, but this one seemed pretty damn credible, and the scientists are saying time travel is possible in wormholes, but not where we are at with our technology. But how do we know that we're not seeing our future selves every once in a while or some future event when it's been documented? We don't. And I'm not trying to have my whole life disrupted being too curious because curiosity killed the cat. And I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to die this way, being stuck in a time that I was not born in and I don't have anything. I mean, could you imagine being stuck in the future? You don't know how you're going to eat. You don't have any valid money. How are you supposed to go anywhere and where are you supposed to sleep? I mean, these are travel questions. I don't think I could time travel. I think I would just, I'd be like, no, I'm good. Because you would have to bring your own tent to time travel. You'd have to have some kind of supplies. There would have to be a process, and your life would be disrupted. And then in the future, they would think you're some kind of spy, and you know they're going to be having all their top military on there. Intend to exist very long. Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, if you can guarantee you'd be able to go to the store and come back, maybe. But who can guarantee that? And there's been instances where people were stuck in the wrong time for like years and eventually they adapted to it. But if you think about it, let's say you went to school in this time thing and then you got stuck 20 years in the future. Your school didn't exist. You went to school for nothing. You paid for your tuition. You did everything in one school for it not to exist. So what the hell you gonna do? Because you know everybody at the new time period already got a nice house and transportation, and you're gonna look like some crazy person coming to their door saying I'm from the past. They're gonna tell you get the fuck away from them. I mean, this is what's gonna go on. So I don't see why we're more excited. I think people should be excited about the idea, possibly, but be very wary of doing it. Because they are either going to be very behind or very ahead. True. Either way, you don't have an apartment waiting for you or anything. Like the creator of Simpsons. Yeah, that was good. I love The Simpsons. Love it. I used to watch The Simpsons every week when it came on TV. When it first came out. Loved it. I like The Simpson Treehouse of Horrors too. That's funny. I love South Park. Eric Cartman is my favorite character. I know he's horrible. I know he's offensive to the Jewish boy and everything. I know. But he is so funny. I love Eric Cartman just for the aspects they have in his character. He's so cynical and crazy. He's hilarious at the same time. I love the dynamics of that. Bart Simpson, I love his dynamics of the character they wrote on there. Seth MacFarlane's amazing writer. He really is. He did wonderful with Family Guy. Wonderful. I think Seth MacFarlane and all those guys are probably my favorite comedy team. That and Broken Lizard. I like both of them for their comedy writing. Broken Lizard's hilarious. Seth MacFarlane, obviously. And it's just funny. They just write these hilarious movies. They make millions and millions and millions of dollars on these amazing movies because they're amazing writers. I mean, I just want to get my one book out there so when I die, I have something, but I don't know if it's going to be epic like Family Guy, but that's okay if it's not. If they got. Well, yeah, that's the whole purpose. You got, when you're an artist, you want to create your own thing. You could be an artist with words. Oh, yes, I think writing is the best job ever. That's why I'm hoping. I mean, oh, well, I gotta get this computer and then figure out how to put on Amazon. I can't do things like that over here. It would be released to Amazon, honestly, for to be. And then I have to find. I got to save up money because I think I'm gonna. I don't. I don't. If it there's a possibility that it does be a bestseller, I don't want to have this kind of karma that half of my money's gone from it. Because the thing was, is the lady that J.K. Rowling that wrote Harry Potter, it's well known that after she sold out her rights to Harry Potter, and it got really popular. Obviously, everybody worships Harry Potter movies. It is what it is. But she regretted not saving up and doing it herself because they took a lot of money from her. And then they did let her write. She was writing the books as they were making the other Harry Potter stuff, but she lost a lot of rights to her book because the more you have you're going on, it just seems like when you gotta, it's they're taking a piece of your money. And she said she wished she would have waited. So I gotta find. I'm hoping it's not gonna be too much money, under $1,000. I'm hoping or a couple hundred. And then on Amazon, I wanna. Well, yeah, you could always. Doing something artistic is always fun. I always thought painters were awesome. Personally, I love oil painters. Oil painting is. I think it's very pretty. I love oil painters. And I love oil paintings. I collect them. I really do. I love them. But I think everybody should try to do something they like. Because when I was a kid, I liked to try to paint. I wasn't, I was okay, but not gifted. But it's okay to do stuff for fun as an outlet. People do it all the time. You could do like basic painting and it's fun. Have some wine with your friends and just do some and a little painting. You don't even have to be overly good, and it could be fun. It's constructive, and it keeps you out there not doing crazy stuff that no one needs to be doing. So, but creating, yeah, I've been creating a free disaster research guide that's easy to read and have in hand. Just trying to get. Well, I mean, if that's what you want to do, but usually governments and people that are rich already have that undercover. I mean, if you can do it and be profitable at it, I say go for it. You can write a cookbook. That's easy. You can write a book on poetry. I mean, everybody's out there doing all these freestyle rapping. Just make that into a poem. Just mess around and have fun. You could go on Spotify if you want to get a song out or whatever. All that could be done on your own too. I don't know if you got to pay to be on Spotify or if you can just put your own stuff out there. I know that there's protection if you put on Spotify, things like that, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff you could do that's creative and fun. It's whatever you find interesting. I mean, I like writing and knitting, but that's just me. And there's a lot of fun things you can do that's creative. Gardening's fun if you have a green thumb. And it can be profitable because you can grow vegetables. You can grow, God, the one guy, Parad on Facebook, he has this crazy garden and it had these gigantic damn watermelons. They were huge. They were almost as big as me, these damn watermelons he had. I mean, did you get your book edited? Oh, I did my own editing. And through Facebook, even though I've been on my monetization mode everywhere, even though I'm on that mode, I'm practicing so I can do my graphic art for my book. So while I'm doing my reels for Facebook and different things, like when I'm putting together stuff and like putting my small poetry, I do like inspirationals where I put like small little tidbits. And I try to get really good with this AI pictures and how to edit them just really, really good. So I know how to edit because I had to learn how to do everything old school with this when I was younger. Because I went to a lot of schooling when I was a child and still continue. But and I know how to do my cover art now. So I'm going to end up doing my own cover art because I know exactly how I want it to look, and I don't need anybody for that, and I don't need anybody for editing. And I had to learn how to do all my editing good because that's when people try to steal your idea. And the more they try to help you, they're more dipping in your business. So I kind of used Facebook to learn how to be a better editor, really, if you think about it. Because you gotta edit your artwork, you gotta edit your words, which are easy if you wrote it, and then you gotta be able to make your cover art. And all that takes a really good computer and a lot of stuff. But that's why I don't dog Facebook and I never will, because I think if you want to learn how to be a good editor, they have the most dope reels I've ever seen in my entire life. Those from the dragon community they have over there. They got the most dope reels and pictures of dragons that are just they're fucking amazing. And they got some savage looking ones, and they just put together these incredible damn reels. They do. This is why I like Facebook is well, yeah. I'm always over there because I have 6 groups. All of mine, I'll say some kind of Chong. I keep it so basic. It's Chong. I got 2 Chong Gothic groups. And then I got Chong Family Style and Chong for digital, Chong Follow to Follow for digital creators. So, but yeah, they got some really good digital creators over there. And they come up with the most amazing things I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm just like, and they inspired me and to be a better editor, and that's why sometimes if I'm just depressed or whatever, I'd like to put out a dope reel. I mean, it's just a Facebook thing, I guess. Who's gonna put out the dopest reel? And it's fun. Every week you find out who has the dopest reel. Once I got to had the dopest reel, and then I started with doing a little more live streaming. But when I'm in a mood, I love it. I love that one I put about I'm thinking about Taco Bell party, and then we got Chong saying it's delicious, and then I put a little hat on. I just love doing that. I think it's fun. And that's what we do on Facebook. And I put it all over Facebook. I've been getting a lot of views on that. People like it. Because sometimes that's what you gotta do. You gotta go back to the grind and you gotta be able to edit. If you're going to be a digital creator and you can't do good editing, you might as well give it up. Because it's a requirement for the job. You and it helps me with my book in turn because now I can do all my cover art for my book and I don't have to pay someone to do this, which I would have had to hire a graphic designer. Not no more. I can do my own graphic design. But yeah, I got a couple on I have one, the Wolf King. I got that one. And then, because I was thinking I do have a affiliation with wolves, I do like wolves and vampires a lot. So I did have some prototypes because I did want to start a Wolf King series. Because I find the dynamics with wolves very interesting. And werewolves, I find lichens and all that very fascinating. I do prefer the vampires. I don't know why, but I do. But the wolves can be very interesting in themselves. I like the vampires because they're very alluring, mystical, kind of, I guess, renowned more. They're more distinguished. That's why I kind of like the vampire lore a little better. But the wolf lore is pretty good. I mean, I guess it's good. Everyone has to die. They're dying and they're leaving these family legacies, and they're very interesting within themselves. They really are. I mean, they do live a long time. I will give them that much. They do live a very long time, but they are eventually dying at some point. So the vampires don't have true families, but they do. And then they have that destructive cycle. So I guess you just, but I'm thinking about maybe starting a short story series on that. You know nothing about werewolves? I mean, come on. I did. I'm sure you were bored at a cave now. Everybody has seen a werewolf movie. You know nothing about the fun Halloween monsters. Everybody's always a vampire or werewolf. Now, come on. You're from the Caribbean. We have different folklore. Well, there's still the internet. I mean, oh, well, yeah. Americans are very, I guess, different because we just like that kind of stuff. I love stories. I love the Dracula story. I want to visit Dracula's castle. All right, so, well, I'm sure they have different folklore, but the American influence seems to follow everybody. You either hate Americans or love Americans, or you're like, eh. One way or another, you're gonna feel something about an American. Yes, I mean, I'd love. I wish I could live in Britain, or at least go visit there. I don't know. I would love to be by London. I had affiliate. I would love that, but I'm not. One day, maybe if I become famous, I'll go by there. That would be awesome to go in London by where Harry Potter was taped. I'm a big Harry Potter fan. Big Harry Potter. I was trying to be so careful when I was writing my little stories to make sure that I wasn't copying another writer in all this. It's hard because there's a lot of books out there. I'm sure it's cool, but I feel that there'd be a lot of bugs in the Caribbean because the weather's so good. I would feel like there you would have to know a very good exterminator. Because I know in Florida they have those huge gigantic cockroaches that that would give me a heart attack looking at them. So I would think you would have big bugs. See, I don't know if I can hang with big bugs. At least I know where I live. It gets cold enough that they're in hibernation or freezing their ass off. One or the other. Because it's good when sometimes it gets so cold. That's it, but then it's bad for the wildlife. That it would be horrible because there's a lot of animals that'll freeze to death. I feel bad for them around winter, like all those dogs that freeze to death. Because our winters can get pretty bad over here in Ohio. The one time we were almost cold as Russia. It was about 15 years ago. It was, I think, in Russia it was -80, and in Ohio it was like, God, it was when the kids were younger. But it was like we were close to like negative. I think we were like -40. So it was pretty bad. I mean, no one had to go to school obviously that day, but in Russia they had sleds out. And these kids were out in their winter coats, and they showed them in Russia, and the kids were having like they were enjoying it for some reason. They weren't even that cold. It was like -80. It was like -40 here, and there were some kids. My kids are were insane, and they were outside playing at -40. But when you have these kind of temperatures, it kills off a lot of big things. Like your spiders, they won't get as big because of that weather fluctuation. That's the good thing about it, but the bad thing is a lot of things suffer through the cold period. So I guess you got to give and take what it is and take it for face value. But yeah, it can get pretty bad. But I hate winter, but I don't know if I can take hot all the time. Yeah, I'm sure I would adapt to it, but I feel the cold has its advantages as the warm. I feel that. I feel it's good to have a balance of cold and hot. Because who wants to be hot all the time, or who wants to be cold all the time? Now, the real people, oh, you don't enjoy heat. I don't care about heat, but I just don't like extreme heat. I like 70 degrees or 60 degrees. We're hitting 90 degrees next week, and it's gonna be terrible. Maybe you do. I don't know. I mean, Miami, I hear it could be fun, but they got a lot of stuff going on. I hear there's like a lot of I guess because it's a bigger city, there's more illegal things going on. We have illegal things. But I guess the one thing Ohio is known for is having the most serial killers, which is weird. That's been known everywhere. I think we're known for that, but not so much the crime rate's going up. But then there's Miami's way bigger than us. It's way bigger. But for some reason, we're holding the title for serial killers. If that's even weird. Maybe people just they want to be isolated and away from the population, but they still want to do what they do. And this is how we end up with more serial killers. Because I guess Ohioans could be sneaky when they want to be. My mom always told me, always be polite because if someone's going to murder you, they don't like when you're being rude. You'll be killed first. And serial killers usually want to kill people that aren't very good people because that's their way of thinking. They go, well, she wasn't a very nice person. I really did want to kill somebody, so there we go. Sage. Advice. Oh, but yeah, that's what my mom always said, and it's probably true because I did read Charles Manson's biography that had his childhood and everything. He did not like impolite people. He liked polite people, so I'm always polite to everybody, even if I find them creepy, because you never know if that's the last face you're gonna see. And it's absolutely true of anywhere you stay in any situation. So it's a good practice just to be polite, even if you don't want to be polite, because you never know if that's the last face you're gonna see, and that's if you're gonna die that way. I mean, it's a retro way of thinking, but it's true. I wouldn't want to think that way. I wouldn't want that to be the last face I see. I got plans how I want to die. I'm not going to let somebody run how I die. I won't do it. I don't think anybody should do that in life, honestly. But but yeah, my mother gave me all kinds of different crazy advice, and that was one of the crazy advice she gave me. And I haven't been taken for human trafficking because I'm not going in strange cars and I'm staying the hell away from crazy people. And I'm always polite, so nobody's tried to murder me except for maybe my ex-husband trying to thinking about murdering me. But other than that, and then I think that's pretty normal to have an ex-husband think about murdering you. Will they go through with it? Probably not. Some do, some not don't, but they always think about it, just like the women think about killing the men at a marriage and going through a divorce. It's a normal emotion. Do they do it most of the time? No, but you think about it, and it's okay to think about have bad thoughts here and there. It's how you act on them. So, but yeah, I've read Charles Manson's diary, his biography he had written. And if you were impolite to him or he found you rude, those are generally the people that got killed. You know, he had other agendas too. I mean, obviously he's Charles Manson. There's only going to be one Charles Manson in the world. He set the title for that, so that is what it is. But it was an interesting biography. I liked it. I mean, his mom was a prostitute. He didn't. I think that's why he just kind of turned out kind of like he was. And he went through a lot of hardships. I mean, I'm not discounting what he did was wrong, but he went through a lot of hardships. I could kind of see why he kind of got weird. Because life does that to you. But I'm gonna go ahead and eat and stuff, and I think today actually, and I think I'm almost on power anyways. I actually had a pretty good stream today, and I'm gonna come on tomorrow, and I hope you guys have a good night's sleep. I'm probably gonna go to bed an hour or two because I get up at 4:30 in the morning. When you get those good morning from Chong the dog, it's I just woke up and it's 4:30 in the morning. That's why it's always dark all the time. So, and unfortunately, I'm on one of these 5 day streaks, and I hate it. I hate every minute of it. I cannot wait till Wednesday, so I don't have to be at work. This is how my days are running in these days. So But I'll be on tomorrow now that I'm feeling better. And I'll do another stream. I probably won't do promotional for a day or two. Because those take a minute to do promotionals and all that good happy stuff. Trying to be a dog director is not fun. So, but I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, and I hope you guys have a good day, and I enjoyed the conversation. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.